to the tool that I already explained about the orbits, hands, and zoom extend, we have another sets of tools that we can use in order to navigate around the object that we have in SketchUp. First thing that is basically can be used is the sets of standard like a viewport. In order to have access to that, or if you remember, we already bring the toolbar like a standard viewport here. We also can have access to them through camera, and if I go here is the standard view. So if I click on different ones, so this is like an isometric view, I can go to the top view, I can navigate through the front, side, and back, and finally left. So different sets of view in order to access those things. If you have noticed, the axis here is not kind of a 2D when I'm switching my view to the 2D format. So basically, it's still in the perspective. So if I go back to the view, to the camera, I can change this to different like type of the viewport that I can see. So for example, one is a parallel, so now it's completely 2D, so I can see for example the front side of the object, and as you can see all these axes is now aligned, and you can see some sort of a perspective here. You can go back to the camera and switch this to perspective, and it goes and change the camera to like some sort of a perspective. That's a regular perspective. If I change the view to 2D perspective, then right now we can't see that much, but the other bring the other sets of perspective to my view. So basically all lines here, vertical lines, is also going to another perspective, and you can see here that it says a 2D perspective. So that's one way of working with that. So I'm going to switch back to the isometric view, and when I'm in the isometric view, I'm gonna put using other sets of like basically camera view into my drawings, and that's basically I have the access from here. You can see that I can go up here and position a camera, walk or look around, or I can use this large tool sets and I position a camera somewhere. So I click on this person here and I start putting my walk around here and then position myself somewhere around here. Right after that, you see that it says the eye height. That's basically where the position of the camera is located, and that basically is the height of the camera from the ground. I can when I see this eye, I can just move around and then look in a different perspective. I can look up or down depending on what type of view I want to have from my object. I also can use the walk around and going like basically walk this way and then move forward to this side, or I can just go back and then move my camera to the other side of the spectrum. So that's another way of playing around with this. But whenever you're in this perspective, if I want to change something, like for example, I still can go to the orbit and I can orbit my view, and it's go back to like using the regular like sets of navigating through the object. You can use a pen and then just move around the object. But if I want to click, I can go back to where I position my camera. I will click here and then I'll position my camera somewhere around here. In future, we're going to learn when we adjust the perspective, we kind of have a feeling of like, for example, if we are feeling comfortable with the perspective, it's kind of annoying to just go back and forth and to set the whole things. I'm going to show how we can just basically save the scene in your drawing, so you don't need to adjust everything from the scratch.